Hi everybody, this is Idaho Amy, and I just want to show you how I make my cards, and hopefully I'll be able to do the whole tutorial in one video, but we'll give it a shot. When I make my cards, I start out with using these. I buy them at Joann's, and they say for $3.99, but I always use a coupon or wait till they come on sale and buy them, and then I stock up. But they're my favorite because you can get 10 of them in one pack, and they come with the envelopes and everything. So for me, it just makes sense because then you don't have to buy the envelopes. So you start with that, and then this is the pack that I'm using today. A friend of mine gave it to me, and so we're using that today. It's a very boyish one, so hopefully you guys will like this card. What I start with is these cards are 5.5 by 5.5, and so what I need to do is I need to cut down my papers. This paper pack is, let's see what size it is. It's probably 8 by 8. I can't exactly see on here where it says, but I'm sure it's 8 by 8. I cut it down to 5.25 by 5.25 because I like to have a little bit of white sticking out around the edge. I think it looks nice. So I do that. So I cut all of them except for this last one. I'll show you how to do that. So I just use my little trimmer and line it up to 5.25. Hope you can see. I'm kind of out of screen, sorry. So I just want you to be able to see the sewing part. So all right, so then I move this out of the way, and so then I have my 5.25 by 5.25, and so then what I want to make sure and do first is we're going to sew on the outside pieces. I always sew the outside and then glue the inside. You can use your photo squares if you want to position it down. You can sew straight through these. It doesn't gum up your machine or anything. I've done it for years. So anyway, just use any type of photo corners, photo squares, whatever you want to call them. And then if you want to, position it, I just hold mine. I try to save as much adhesive as possible. And right now I just have a brown thread in there, and I'm too lazy to switch it out, so I'm not going to. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and sew. And I'm just straight stitching around the edge. And I used to hate getting cards and making cards, and I used to think it was a waste of money, but people seem to really appreciate them. So I just sewed it on around the edge, just like that. Gives it a little bit of a stitch look, which people seem to like. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other square. This is going to be my front, and what I want to do for this is I'm going to take this piece of paper that I like, and I'm going to cut it down because it's going to be the inside of my card. And actually, yes, this paper is 8 by 8, and so I'm going to cut it in quarters. So it'll be 4 by 4 on all the quarters. So then I'll have 4 pieces that are 4 by 4. Okay, so, and you can ink your edges or decorate them however you want, but for this card I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the center of the card, and this will be one of my insides, or I mean my front. It also will be what I do to the inside ones too. so there's that one. And then I'm going to quickly go ahead and do the same thing with these other 2 pieces of pattern paper that I pre-cut. This will be my inside covers. And I hope I'm getting this straight, but for time purposes, I'm just trying to do it quickly. So. Okay, and one more. And what I'm doing with these ones is I'm making it appear that I sewed on all sides of the card by sewing on each piece. It tricks people into thinking that you are magic by sewing on all of it. They're like, how did that work? So then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to cut all my strings off of these. So this is the part of the video I wish I had music playing in the background so that you guys aren't too bored, but okay, so that's our front. Okay, so what you want to make sure and do first is you want to layer all your front first before you sew it down. And actually I could have probably waited to do it, but because I want to use some ribbon, I'm going to use this vintage seam binding that whenever I find at yard sales or places, I buy it. And I also have people looking for it for me just because I use it so much. So, and I'm not even going to bother to iron it. You can if you like it that way. I like the vintagey look, but anyway, so I'm just going to use some of these photo corners again just to hold down the back for me. So, oops, I'll just do it this way. It'll work better. And then go across the front and then around on the back. So, and then I'm just gonna make sure that it's all even up here. Now let's hold it high. All right, so you're gonna do across the bottom, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna sew this down. You're gonna sew your front on, and the reason I'm waiting is to do, to sew it down after I have the ribbon on is because I'm gonna actually sew around with the ribbon on it, and it's gonna give it that stability that you want it to have. And so I'm just gonna go start right here. That way I get my ribbon stuck down. Okay, so I got that, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my insides, and what I'm going to do for those, I like to use Zots, but you can use whatever other kind of adhesive that you like. These ones are stuck, really, really sticky. That's why I like them and use them. So I use quite a few. Probably not the most efficient for video. That or next time I need to have them already cut out, ready to go. So I just put one in all the corners. And then in the centers, that way they don't come up. And then I like my stripes up and down, but you can put them however you want. And then I just stick it down. And then do the same thing with this one. Okay. All right. And see, I lined up the stripes. So it all, anyway, but you don't have to. You can do it however you want. So, okay, so we've got all the sides of the card started. And then the next, I pulled this off of the stacks. It has some really cool things. It has alphabets and has chipboard, or not chipboard, but cutouts, die cuts, whatever. And it has a bunch of really neat ones and then all the papers too. So I cut out this one because I like the 100% boy. And so I'm just going to stick this down with some photo corners. It doesn't have to have a lot of adhesive on it. It's, maybe I'll put 2 more. The centers are there. It doesn't have to have a whole lot because this much will keep it down. Alright, and I just stick it on there. And then I also have some of these flowers that I made. And I have a really hard time not, putting flowers on everything, just because I do that. Even on boy cards, I do flowers because really this is not for a boy. It would probably be more for a baby shower. And the moms of babies love flowers. So, and plus, I just thought these were so cute.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
We were just going around today. We're from Adrian High School. We were looking for sponsors or maybe gifts for the senior citizen luncheon that we have every year.
Okay. Hold on.